there is just too much going on right now. It is just too crazy right now. I have so much to tell you guys, but I don't want this to be too long of a live broadcast. I hope you guys are there and that there you go and you can hear me. But I am just incensed. And it's not just Michael, it's what's going on in the world right now. Threats and the president and investigations and no peace and oh my God, it's enough to just wear you down if you let it. But since you guys don't know, I watch the news all day. That's like my daily partner, the news. So I know exactly what's going on in the world. But anyway, I will digress from discussing that at this time. But there is so much going on with Michael. I am so incensed about everything that's going on. Well, let me tell you that once this statement was made, and I'm going to read it to you, once this went out to the world, this is when all the problems, it's like an ollie oxen free, okay? This is a statement by the estate. It says, the law offers certain protections for Michael's right of publicity, but unfortunately, those protections do not extend to documentaries or other films about him. The estate cannot sue for these libels and slanders of Michael because the law does not provide for civil lawsuits defaming a deceased person, no matter how malicious the lies are about him. Really? That seems like, I'm not going to try hard enough. You know, it doesn't sound to me like somebody's looking for laws or looking for a way to stop this, because where there's a will, there's a way, right? Okay, now I guess the estate is correct. I'm going to turn something else around. Because right now, and I'm going to get into it, but the estate had valued Michael Jackson's name and likeness. See here? Jackson's image and likeness were valued by the IRS at $434 million. The estate said its taxable value was $2,105. Okay. So, I guess the estate is right. You know, that his value is $2,000, because right now, and if we were going to use R. Kelly as some type of roadmap to what could happen to Michael Jackson, because when I was watching the R. Kelly documentary, I was seeing the parallels where they said he was singing all these these great songs, I Think I Can Fly, and it became an anthem and people did it, and just like Michael, Heal the World and Keep the Faith and all, Man in the Mirror, and was doing, and they say allegedly that both of them were doing dirty deeds while they're writing these great inspirational songs. And I remember going, wait, this is paralleling Michael too much. That's what I was thinking, right? And but at the time, I had no idea that a Michael Jackson slander, libel, malicious tale was being told in front of a camera by two people who had said under oath multiple times that Michael never molested them. Okay, now Safe Chuck, if he goes back to 87, which would probably be 1989, because he said he was 10, but he said he was 10 when Michael started molesting him, but then the Pepsi commercial was in 87. Okay, so he was the first victim because Jordy Chandler didn't come out till 93. So this whole thing is so bizarre to me, okay? But I'm just kind of thinking, you know, premonition-wise, why $21,005? And then, well, Robson, let's call him Rob, because he's trying to rob Michael's estate. Robson okay, was supposed to be writing the book in 2012. Well, the IRS didn't become a public situation, to 2013. Okay. So Robson started this before we knew about the IRS case. Okay. So I don't think that those two are in cahoots. But it is showing that due to all this stuff, Michael's name and likeness and his legacy is being sloshed in the mud. Now, there's no result to the IRS case. The judge has not rendered a verdict yet, as far as I know. Okay, that the judge takes 2 to 4 years to make a verdict, and the trial was over in February 2016 because I attended the trial. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just feeling a little weird about the whole thing, and I don't know what that means. Okay, I want to be clear. I don't know what that means. But when Robson decided to file a lawsuit in 2013, May of 2013, I thought that the estate should have hit him straight in the face and socked him so hard with statute of limitations that it would knock their socks off. But instead, they fiddled and faddled around with it for 5 years. Nearly 5 years. Fiddled and faddled, for the same statute of limitations, same technicalities that existed from day one, ended up being why it was dismissed nearly 5 years later. Okay? Why are we fiddling and faddling with this? Sometimes when somebody comes at you, you gotta sock them in the face so hard. And I don't mean physically sock them in the face. I mean as symbolic. Like slap them with a lawsuit. It doesn't mean you're taking the paperwork and you're slapping them. It means you're serving them with a lawsuit. So when I say sock them in the face, I mean you slap them so hard with your counter lawsuit or with your rebuttal that they leave you alone. But meanwhile, this has happened for nearly 5 years. So now we got a mess. And I feel so sorry for all the fans who are hurt and devastated by this. I feel so sorry for all the fans who are hurt and devastated by this, okay? Because we supported Michael, and I am a reporter, but I'm also a supporter because I heard nothing in the 2005 trial that told me Michael was a molester. Nothing. Zero that told me Michael was a molester. It was just somebody who said, Michael spooned me in bed. And another guy who said, Michael tickled me. Give me money. Okay? And that was it. And then lied and said Michael showed him porn, which the porn magazine wasn't even out until after they left Neverland, never to return. So it just was so ridiculous and so just outrageous that nothing told me Michael Jackson was. And I was glad to see Michael's porn. I was glad to see Black Beauties and Playboy and Hustler and Plumpers. I was happy to see that stuff. To see that Michael's sexual interest was in grown women, even barely legal, which is young women, but they're legal. They're like, over the age of whatever age you need to be in a porn magazine. Okay? Because there's laws that protect children. Okay? So right now, Bronca's right. That Michael's name and likeness is worth $2,105 because it's getting ready to be totally slushed through the mud. Now, I want to talk about this article. I want to talk about this, hold on, I have it up. I want to talk about this article, so I'm turning my camera on, okay? Jackson's body may be exhumed as 11 more sex assault victims come forward. What? 11 more come forward? Now, this is, I think, a regeneration of an old story that Radar Online did. They don't name who the 11 victims are or where they come from, but sources say, and they've heard, which clears them from any type of defamation lawsuit. Okay. Now here it also uses the word that Michael's body is going to be exhumed. Okay. Now I got to show you guys something before I go back. Okay. I have to show you guys something. Let me turn my camera around. Okay. Okay, I have to show you guys something, and it's a part of my Alive 2, okay? It's a part of my Alive 2 documentary, because so far in Alive 2, I explained to you that Forrest Line kept telling people, even me, before I was a believer that Michael faked his death, which I called like a month after the 3rd of September, right? And Forrest Lawn told me on the phone, because fans had been calling me and I've been getting emails that Michael's not dead and this and that. So I decided to call Forrest Lawn myself, not recording it, not knowing that I needed to record it, but I give you my word as a woman, as a mother, as a grandmother, that Forrest Lawn told me, we don't have Michael's body and we've never had it. And this is about October 2009. Okay, so we exhume what they're going to exhume. So this is a part of Alive 3 that Alive 2 that you guys really should see. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to enlarge the screen, but it seems like it's giving me there we go. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera around. We're gonna watch a part of Alive 2, which is very important. And I want you guys all to watch Alive 2. My documentaries are not a joke. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. They are accurate. They are smart. They are intelligent. They're in-depth. They're an in-depth investigation. I'm here to tell you. And it is so much information in there that fans tell me all the time that they have to watch it a few times. And every time they watch it, they realize they missed something that was in there already, but since it's so much information, they missed something. But anyway, I'm gonna let you watch a part of Alive 2. Okay, here we go. So if Michael Jackson truly died and the family is telling us the truth about where Michael Jackson is buried, then why does Forrest Lawn repetitively tell us they don't have Michael's body and they've never had it? A Forrest Lawn employee told me that the Jacksons rented out the entire Forrest Lawn facility on September 3rd for the burial ceremony. According to the Michael Jackson estate, the official accounting reports that the empty crypt cost nearly $600,000, while the overall funeral costs were over $1 million. My guess is the Jacksons did not want anyone to see that nothing went inside Michael Jackson's crypt. And when you go to the coroner's online website and search for Michael Jackson under the number that was given at the Conrad Murray trial, you will find there's also no record found. And when we look further into the database and you looked under the unclaimed bodies, you will find the name of Carlton Guy, aka Oscar Quintana, aka Michael Jackson? Now, why would the coroner name an unclaimed body Michael Jackson? Could that be a Michael Jackson decoy? Okay, now for you guys who have not seen Alive 3, Alive 2, I'm sorry, Alive 3 is good too, but Alive 2, I'm telling you, this is some in-depth investigation. Okay, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. There's a lot more to go to that. So let's say they did exhume the body and there's something in Michael Jackson's crypt, which I doubt, and I'm gonna tell you why I doubt that there's something in that crypt. Is that body really Michael Jackson? I don't believe it is, because they couldn't find Michael Jackson's fingerprints on anything in his bedroom, on any of the medications. What? None of them? Not even the ones where he had to take a pill? Yeah, that's in Alive 2 as well. Something in the milk is not clean. That dead body is not Michael Jackson's. I believe that they took those fingerprints, some unknown, the fingerprints that were on the dead body, sent them to the FBI or the Department of Justice, whoever gets them, and it came back. Austin Guy, and Austin Guy, and Oscar Quintana. That's why it says AKA Michael Jackson on it. Now, unclaimed bodies. You got to remember something with the unclaimed bodies, and let's go back here. I'm going to turn my camera around in a minute. Unclaimed bodies, guess what they do with them after about 6 months? I saw 30 days, but I'll say 6 months just so that I protect myself. Okay? They cremate them. They cremate them. They cremate those dead bodies. Okay? So, when I was out telling the whole world that Michael isn't buried at Forest Lawn, and Forest Lawn going around telling me and many other fans that they don't have Michael's body, they've never had it. I even have something from a Forest Lawn employee in writing that tells us Michael Jackson is not in their database, and she searched even further in a database, and they had no record of Michael Jackson. No record of anybody by that name and that birthday at Forest Lawn. Telling you. And I already caught the corner in a lie in writing about naming the body the wrong name, and all the death documents in the wrong name. So anyway, I have to talk about this. I really do. I really have to talk about this, because right now, Michael, it's either your legacy that's going to get destroyed completely, and with R. Kelly, I just read a report today, and I know I got so much information in my head. I just read a report today that R. Kelly's got a concert in 3 different countries, and they're trying to figure out how to stop him from performing in other countries. Michael already had to go out of other countries. He has not toured in the USA since the Bad concert, because he was hassled so doggone much. Not only was Michael hassled in the United States, even hassled with the Jehovah's Witness. He had to have a chaperone to where he finally disfellowshipped himself in 1987, because they had to have a chaperone that followed him around everywhere he went. Because you're not supposed to be famous. You're not supposed to think of yourself too highly. There's rules and regulations. So Michael's been hassled because he was just a little kid who wanted to sing and entertain people and make them happy. That's what he wanted since he was 5. And it turned into all this other stuff. And I know racism has something to do with it, because he was the most famous black person who had ever lived. And he broke all kinds of records. The Eagles records. He broke Elvis's record. He broke the Beatles records. And then they were out to get him, because people have in their heads that black people are inferior to white people. And when there's a black person that says, no, that's not true, you are hitting at the core of their belief system. And you're telling them that they have no right to feel like they're superior when you're looking at someone black who is the best that's ever done it. So yes, racism has a lot to do with it. But a lot of people can't say it's racism, because to be a racist is a bad thing. Well, to some people. There are some people that are, believe in white power. I think white people got a lot of power right now. When black people say black power, we coming from the bottom trying to climb up. We ain't at the top, running things. So appropriateness is judged by the surrounding circumstances, right? Okay, so well, how come you're allowed to and I'm not allowed to? Well, there is a historical history back there, okay, of oppression and slavery and all that other stuff, but I'm going way off to the side. But all this stuff has something to do with it, okay? So anyway, so let's go back to the exhume the dead body. Let's go back to that one. Let's go back to that article. So, exhume the dead body, right? Now, I remember Radar Online when I was going around telling people Michael's not buried there, the crypt is empty, no name on it, right? They came out with an article saying Michael was cremated. That Catherine said, and I believe it was November 2016 that the article came out, to where sources said that Catherine said that the body was cremated. The body was cremated and the ashes were spread under a pear tree at Neverland. But so you're going to sell Neverland with Michael's ashes on there? So a lot of things are really, really weird, okay? Lots of things are really, really weird, okay? It says, despite rumors Jackson was secretly cremated, multiple sources are convinced that was a red herring to deter Rob Gravers. Let me tell you about Rob Gravers. Let me turn the camera around. Let me tell you about Rob Gravers. When you go up to Forest Lawn and you go to the door, because Michael's crypt, it is his crypt. Whether there's a body in there or not, that is his crypt because he paid for it. So you got to watch out for, there's Michael. Yeah, Michael's crypt is here. Yeah, it sure is there. Okay. Because they paid $590,000 for it. But when you go in that locked building that you can't get in unless you are on a list, there's a camera there. And if you stay up at that door and you try to look in because it's all blacked out, you can't even look through the stained glass windows. There's somebody over an intercom that will say, move away from the window. And if you don't move away from the window, somebody in a truck is on their way to make sure you move away from the window. Somebody from Forest Lawn is going to follow up with that and send somebody in one of them tiny little ped trucks, those little tiny golf cart trucks, or a regular little truck, and tell you get away from the door. Then if you're able to get in, there's still cameras there, and sometimes an armed security guard there. And you can seal a crypt so shut that you need a chisel to open it. Then, let's say, Rob Gravers, this is not 1865 Abraham Lincoln stuff, where they stole his body. We live in a world of lasers, of surveillance, of sealing something, cementing it so shut it can never open. So it is just absolutely absurd that anybody would think that you can go in and you can rob a crypt in Forest Lawn. And if you, let's say you chisel it open without nobody finding out, you still got a long way to drive to get out of Forest Lawn. Okay? There's surveillance cameras there. There are sensors there. So the whole Rob Graver excuse that I hear from people is just completely naive, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult, but ignorant. In 2019, they can't protect a crypt. You can't even break a piece of glass without an alarm going off at Forest Lawn. Okay? So stop with the grave robber stuff. Just let's not even go there. Okay? Now, 11 victims. Okay, we can talk about cremated. Let me make sure. 11 victims. Okay, let's talk about 11 victims. I got two. I got two people on my latest live broadcast. Let me tell you what I got comments. I got two accusers. I found these two comments on my YouTube page. And it says here, I stayed at Neverland in 2014. Michael molested me when I was 8 years old. He is a monster. Here's another guy. Michael raped me in LA in the 90s. He raped hundreds of kids. That's what I'm telling you. So that's two. So anybody, so when you see this 11 accusers, let's add these two in too. I remember soon after the 2005 trial and MySpace was really big, I remember this one kid saying that Michael molested him, this one person, this one post. I called the FBI and reported it. And then days later, the guy said, oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. So when you see all these, it could be anybody saying anything, just like these two people here saying stupid stuff. Okay, I can say Michael molested me. You can say Michael molested you. And let's just say 100,000 people say Michael raised their hand. Did Michael molest you? And half the world raises their hand. It means nothing unless you can prove that he molested you. Which it seems like Robson and Safechuck have no proof, because after all the articles I'm reading and I'm doing research, I haven't found one thing that said that one piece of proof. Is just a carefully crafted story in between footage. And I haven't seen it, but I know as a filmmaker how you can do that. If you watch my Alive documentaries, you will see I give you proof, evidence, and clues and facts in it. Okay, so let's move on, because that article on Radar Online was just terrible. And now, since everybody can, the state said we're not suing anybody. We can't do a thing about malicious rumors, how awful they are. Now everybody and their mama can come out and say whatever they want. Say whatever they want. Gloria Allred, who was after Michael, who I saw at the 2005 trial myself in person, and all those reporters who were wrong and thought me and William Wagner, who were the lowest on the totem pole, but we had just as much press access as they did, we thought that Michael was innocent. Everybody else was either like this or Michael straight guilty. And they were all molded. They were all wrong. And all those people that had egg on their face in 2005 now are coming out for revenge, because they fear nothing, because the estate has said there's nothing they can do about it, because Michael is deceased. So Gloria Allred, I have no doubt. And she can say that because she has no doubt. She talking about her personal self has no doubt. Right? Let me tell you how strongly Michael knew that he didn't molest any kids. Okay? This is on the backdrop. This happened after the 95 trial. The 93, excuse me. It wasn't a trial in 93. It was the 93 accusations that was settled in January 94. Okay? I'm gonna show you guys something. Okay? Now this is what, I'm turning my camera around. This is what Peter posted. My buddy, my pal, Peter Michael Bobby Anderson, my friend. Okay? He posted this a couple days ago. Michael Jackson, petitioner, plaintiff, and defendant Diane Dimond. It's a proof of a subpoena. Now, subpoena is spelled wrong. It's supposed to be S-U-B-P-E-O-N-A, but it's spelled wrong. But the case number is correct, okay? Because I went and looked up the case number, okay? And when I looked up the case number, I knew that Michael had sued and won a judgment of $2.7 million against Victor Gutierrez, but I wasn't well versed on the ins and outs of that case. Now, the way the case is, and I'm going to go back and read this to you, but I'm going to explain it to you while I'm on camera. The case was against, I wrote these names, it was against Diane Dimond. Michael sued Diane Dimond, Victor Gutierrez, Paramount Pictures, and KABC Talk Radio. And the reason why he sued them, this was a 96 case, okay, is because they were saying that there was some videotape of Michael having oral sex with a child and touching him inappropriately. That Diane Dimond was going around telling people there was this case. Victor Gutierrez was telling people he saw the video, and that the kid, the victim, the alleged victim, his mama saw the tape, but she was afraid to come forward. What? You see your kid with an adult and you scared to come forward? At this point, you know you got the whole weight of the LAPD, Witness Protection Program, Santa Barbara Police, all that stuff, Santa Barbara DA. And Tom Snedden was a part of this way before the 2005 trial, back in the 90s. And him and Diane Dimond talked on the phone all the time. Okay? And so they were saying that this tape existed. Now, people are like, well, Michael paid, Jordy Chandler. Well, there was insurance money. I showed you guys a document that Brian Oxman had signed, saying that Michael's insurance negotiated and paid the settlement. Okay? Now, there is, maybe some people believe it, some people don't, but I'm going on the legal document. Okay? And so, and in the 93 case, it was paid. Michael admitted no guilt by paying it. He just wanted to go away, and he wanted to go back on tour, and he wanted to concentrate on his music, and he wanted to get off of the prescription drugs that Debbie Rowe testified that her, Dr. Klein, and Dr. Hoffman purposely addicted Michael to. Debbie said she watched them do it and did nothing about it. So you are a conspirator as well, because you helped to get the medicine for Michael. Okay? You were like the fake Florence Nightingale. But anyway, okay? I know so much stuff, so much is in my head, it's incredible. Okay? So, anyway, so they were saying that this tape was out. Michael was so sure that nothing like that ever happened, because they said Michael recorded everything in his house, and it was on one of his recordings that he recorded everything, and that's how it got recorded. Michael knew that it didn't exist. He knew that there's no way that it would exist because he didn't do it. So if he thought he was guilty of doing something like that, he doggone sure wouldn't sue people, because when you sue somebody, there's a thing called discovery. And discovery means, child molestation. Let me look under all your stuff. I could go through and look and try to find and this, that, and the other. And also, if they weren't guilty, they bring me the tape. So this clears up the whole 93 thing, why he settled. Because if he was guilty, he doggone sure wouldn't have sued them for defamation. Now, Diane Dimond, Paramount, and KABC, they were pretty much acquitted, because freedom of speech, First Amendment, freedom of the press. Okay? So people can go around saying, I heard you did this, I said you did this, take a quote from somebody else and post that all over the place. It's a manipulation. It's a manipulation. Michael won 2.7 from Victor Gutierrez, who was the instigator of the tape, who was the one that created the lie about the tape, and he left to go to Colombia or somewhere in South America, and said he didn't have any more money. He left to get a job, and he filed bankruptcy because he lied and made all that up. And Diane Dimond said that he was a credible source because he knew about Michael and Lisa Marie's marriage, because he was some kind of freelance, independent journalist. But all that was wrong. And if Michael was guilty and he did something like that, he wouldn't have sued those people for the tape. He knew it didn't exist because he knew he was innocent. So I'm going to read this. Okay, and there's more to this lawsuit, another lawsuit. Okay, let me turn this around and read this to you. Okay. The jury, this is the case with Diane Dimond, Victor Gutierrez, Paramount, KBC. It says it took the jury less than 2 hours. Let me turn on my light. See if that helps. Okay. It took the jury less than 2 hours to render a verdict, and Victor Gutierrez was ordered to pay $2.7 million to Michael Jackson for defamation. Okay. Now there's another case, the Neverland Five. Okay, I can't even, Kassam Abdul, Ralph Chacon, Adrian McManus, Sandy Dones, and Melanie Bagnell filed a $16 million lawsuit against Michael Jackson, right? Because they were going around, they were lying, saying that they saw things, and that was in the 2005 trial, but then they were paid. They were paid, right? And they said they were fired for no reason, but they were caught stealing and all kinds of stuff, right? You can read this if you want. You can put your camera on pause and read it. Or it's on my Facebook page. So anyway, on March 18th, 1997, the jury rejected the wrongful termination lawsuit and awarded Jackson $60,000 in damages. The plaintiffs were also ordered to pay a $1.4 million judgment in attorney fees and court fees to Michael Jackson. Okay, so those people that decided to lie on Michael and said they saw things, they sued Michael for for firing them falsely, and Michael turned around and won $1.4 million from him and $60,000 in damages. If Michael was guilty in 93, he wouldn't have done all this stuff. He would have went somewhere and hid and said, oh my God, there could be a tape. Oh, I did do it. Was there cameras in my house? Oh boy, I better leave that alone. But instead, he got tired of it and he fought back. A lot of people don't know this. Michael is not guilty of child molestation. Okay? Not guilty of child molestation. Now, I think I went through everything. Yes, I went through everything that I wanted to say today. We'll make sure that I talked about that. So, in summary, we have to be equipped with the truth and with the facts, guys. Okay? Because it's kind of like the song of Billie Jean. If you wait so long, the lie becomes the truth. And if so many people say things, and right now there is like 10 people, 10 corporations control like 90% of everything. I can't compete with a Radar Online or with a TMZ or with a news organization. And then Michael's in the news again because of the blackface controversy with the Virginia governor. And then his name came up again today. For something else. Gosh, what was it? His name came up today. In a something. I'm going to write it down. What was it? Came up today, blackface. I can't remember what it was, but I know his name came up again today in an unrelated to the molestation case. So all of us together, all of us fans together, circulating, sharing, subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos, we all can help exonerate Michael Jackson. Because maybe John Bronco was right, that Michael's value was really worth $2,105 under these circumstances. Under these circumstances. Because R. Kelly right now doesn't have a record company. He's being harassed. Now, I'm not saying R. Kelly is innocent. I didn't study R. Kelly. But I do know with R. Kelly there was a tape. There was a videotape with R. Kelly. And I do know with R. Kelly he married a 15-year-old and lied and said she was 18. Okay? So, therefore, we cannot compare R. Kelly to Michael, but they're trying to make the public at large do that. Michael Jackson, right now, honey, if you're listening, I got you. Okay? If you want to come back, I got you. I got you. I know how to explain why you faked your death, because you were tired of being harassed. You were tired of the lies. You were tired of the accusations. You know, Michael and bleaching his skin, it was vitiligo, it was a disease. So I got you. I got you. But right now, we can't undo the death hoax. We can't undo the thousands of videos that are out there. We can't undo all the documentaries I've sold. We can't undo the death hoax. We can't undo it. We can't unspill that milk. I'm not the only death hoaxer out there. There's thousands of death hoax videos out there. But no matter what you do, I got you. Okay? So you guys, if you want to know more, see, there's the Alive 2 cover, but don't order the Alive 2 DVD. I don't have many of those. But I'm getting a whole new batch of the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries because I sold out. So I have to, I've sold out several times, and I order 100 at a time. So I've sold out many, many times. So anyway, guys, this is Pearl Jr. And gosh, Michael, I'm sorry.